Hey guys, welcome. This is Daenerys with Motivated Mentors, DaenerysSouls.com, training and building entrepreneurs for success. What I'm going to talk about today is refusing to settle. Now, I've been in a lot of positions and had a lot of conversation with multiple people throughout my duration traveling the U.S. And the reason why I've become a person of influence, or why I look up to become a person of influence, mainly because when I started to surround myself from the the 9-to-5 jobs, I'm the professional of all the banking system and being a financial account manager, I ran into a lot of people that happen to settle. And what I mean by settling is when someone sparks a conversation with you, and you can just sense that there's a piece missing in their life. And I've had a lot of people ponder the past, what they should have done, what they could have done, but they had kids. Financial burdens came upon. Whatever, they come up, people personally come up with their own excuses in regards to why they didn't accomplish something that they wanted to once upon a time in their life. And I started to realize as I started traveling, I started young, going at 18, going to college in Iowa, 19 going to college in Sierra Nevada College in Lake Tahoe, living the Californian life, then transferring from Sierra Nevada to St. Cloud State, Minnesota. Being at 3 colleges in 3 years at a young age, before I even was 20, I had, jumped from state to state to state and college to college to college. Networking and being, half the time being the only African American at most, house gatherings, especially in Iowa, especially in California, and sometimes obviously in northern Minnesota in St. Cloud. And I started to really surround myself with people, from all different ages, from, younger to older to middle age to, even, 70 and above. And I started to hear people's stories, and it started to come to a collaboration of, people settling, and me being at a young age, hearing people tell their stories in regards to what they wanted to be when they were younger. That you should be thankful that you're young and that you have something, you have a mindset, and you don't have kids and all those other things. And I started to study what success was and how to accumulate success and what it meant to be successful. Well, I started to read stories of all these other successful people in life, people who dropped out of college to find their passion in life, people who have, had missed burdens of kids at young ages, but they still were persistent towards being successful for not just themselves, but for the young family they were now a part of and they were creating. So when it comes to people saying, hey, I had a kid at 16, 17, whatever it may be, don't use that as an excuse in regards of why you're not successful. Use it as a persistent crutch to why you want to be successful, why you want to accumulate enough income to provide for your family, to do something that you don't use your kids as an excuse, the reason why you didn't go to college, or you didn't graduate high school, or you don't have a good paying job, or you're always struggling. Don't use that as an excuse, because the most successful people, and you look at these basketball players into the NBA, these basketball players that go to college, they're putting everything on the line because they have a family they have to provide for. You have to look at, the young players as, Derrick Rose, any of the other players coming from all the low-impoverished areas. They're working their butts off because they have a family, they have a son to provide, they have a daughter to provide, they have a girlfriend to provide for. They have something that they didn't have before, and they have responsibilities. Life just threw something at them, and they now have to adapt. Adapt to your changes and adapt to your environment to provide for whatever you're looking to provide for in life. Don't use negativity in life as an excuse, the reason why you're settling for where you're at and why you're not where you want to be at. We all can live life, as the point your finger at that person, do this and that. But if you can't point the finger at yourself, you won't ever truly learn that success is achieved within yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to be persistent in regards to what you want your life to look like. Don't point your finger at that person and say that person's the reason why I'm not successful. I didn't grow up with a father. I had a misused mother. Don't use that as a crutch. Don't use it as a negative enforcement. Use it as a reason why you should be successful, as you should be a better parent, as you should, and the reason why you want to be a better parent. Personally, I didn't grow up with a father. My father was my mother. Grew up with a single parent mother. I had 2 older sisters. I'm the youngest. I'm the only boy I could use all the negative intents of a reason why I am the person. I can make up all these different excuses, but I choose not to. My mother, I'm in Tennessee, and I haven't seen my father for almost 10 years. My mother's like, why, do you want to meet your father? Do you want to see your father? I've met my father. I'm just like, there's no need to. I have no reason to, introduce myself who I am today for a person who, I don't know who was back then. So I can use, hey, I have this disapproval towards this and this and this because of my father. I choose not to. I've had friends who said, my mother she's into drugs, all this other stuff, and there's the reasons why, I'm an alcoholic. Don't use your parents as, a negative influence of why you are who you are. You are who you are because you chose to be who you are. Don't say, oh, I'm big bone because my family eats a lot. I'm from the South, and I'm one of the most athletic people, a part of my family and out of my cousins. Half the time, mainly because I choose not to use that as a negative influence towards my health and my financial being. You surround yourself with the people you are. So if you say, hey, I'm this and that, that's because you surround yourself with people who are just like you. You have to excel in life, you have to surround yourself with people who are going to influence you to do better. You have to surround yourself with people you look up to. You have to change who you surround yourself with, but you have to change who you are inside. But don't use, all the negative influences in regards of what you are because of someone else. You are you because of you. That's the true definition of finding success, when you realize that you are the reason why you are. We are all self-made in life. The only people who will admit they're self-made are the self-made millionaires. If you're broke, you're self-made. If you're struggling with your health, you are self-made. Obviously, there's different from, having illnesses come upon, whatever it may be, but when it comes down to being obese, or whatever it may be, you chose. No one's ever forced you to eat. No one said, hey, no one's fed food into your mouth and say you're going to gain. No one has ever done it. We are all self-made when it comes with our finances or our health. And that's where I want to come across this video is, don't blame others for your mistakes or whatever you want to blame people for. We are all self-made, and when you decide to settle for who you are and not willing to exceed past what you want to become, some people will like to settle, but at the end of the day, some people, this video is targeting those who wanted more out of life than just the typical whatever norm of what they currently are doing. I refuse to settle. I made a promise to myself at 21 years old that I will never settle for anything I'm not happy doing. So I refuse to. Again, comment below in regards to anything you would find interesting. I comment to all things. Again, this is Denarius Lewis with Motivated Mentors, DenariusLewis.com. Training and building entrepreneurs to success. Choose to do something different by deciding on what you're going to do today to create a better tomorrow. Never settle, and decide why you're not willing to settle. Thank you guys for watching.